Welcome back, my CFM family. We are back again. I'm so happy. It's been well overdue. I know you guys been asking in the comments, where is the CFM? Here we go. We are at the end of the season now. The regular season is over. Into the playoffs. Yes, the playoffs. Let's take a quick recap. Take a look at the team, how the team turned out this year. Had a good season, only lost one game. So let's go through the annual awards. Here you can see Cliff Avril won the league MVP, which is pretty amazing for a defensive player to win that. He had a really dominating season. Look at Fletcher Cox on the list there. So defense is really big there and actually showing up on the MVP list, which you don't see very often. Offensive player of the year, of course, Odell Beckham Jr. just totally destroyed the league statistically as far as several 300, even a 400-yard receiving game. So it's not surprising to see him there. Defensive player, of course, Cliff Avril. Look at Xavier on the list. He had a really great start to the season, and he just didn't finish strong there. We got another linebacker on there as well. I have Fletcher Cox, of course. Fletcher Cox is a beast. So Xavier had a really good start to the season, a good middle, and oh my gosh, offensive player of the year, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz straight up dominated the league. When these awards came out, he was #1 in every category he possibly could be. And then he went down with the injury, and he totally, which is crazy. He finished second. He only played half a season. That just shows how dominant the rookie was. So losing out a ton of XP on that one. So Tevin Coleman, which is surprising he made the list, because Tevin Coleman, we only got him at the trade deadline. But he's been an absolute monster. Great trade for us. Tearing up the league. Definitely the running back that we needed. Doyle Green Beckham on the list for best wide receiver, as well as Jordan Matthews. We never really have a best wide receiver. Really don't win that too often just because I spread the ball around between my receivers, my backs, and tight ends and everything. So never really have that one big guy that just dominates the league like that. So it's really not typical for me in my CFM experience for me to win best wide receiver. Now if they had best tight end, maybe, because I do love the tight end, even though not to the cheese level, not to a cheese level. So best of lineman, John. Okay, we got a couple Eagles on there, so that's pretty good. D-line, let's see, Fletcher Cox was on there a little bit. Best linebacker, Xavier Gooden actually still wins best linebacker, even though he did not finish the season strong with Nigel there and Michael on the list as well. So all three of our starting linebackers actually made the list for best linebacker, with Xavier Gooden actually winning it. I really thought he had a chance for defensive MVP. Just finished as strong as Cliff Avril just tore the league up, which is, I think he broke the sack record, all types of crazy stuff. So Seattle, one of our best games of the season. So if you haven't, go ahead and check out the Seattle game. Caleb actually took third there. Go ahead and check out some of our best games. Cowboys game was really good. The Seattle game went down to the wire as well. All those games went down to the last plays of the game there. So if you haven't seen those games, go back and check in the playlist on those really exciting games that had really great finishes there. So look at the squad. We have so much confidence there. Like, everyone's got a +1, +2, +3 even on Peters there. Don't see that too often. So let's take a look. Look at the XP. So you can tell a few guys, even though you can't see the Pro Bowls numbers yet until we get to that screen, which I hate. I wish they would change that. Hopefully we'll get some input on changing that for next year, so you can see the Pro Bowl and Pro Bowl voting steadily as the year goes on. Like you could in the past. So let's see. You can see that Gooden, it got some awards there. You can see Cox got a little XP. Really surprised. I thought I would see more on my defensive guys. The fact that we had so many injuries during the year, like guys like Carroll, and there were other guys who were playing great, who just Cummings was another one who was killing it, and just got injured. They were out so long, they didn't have the stats, but when they were in there, they were absolutely dominating. But I mean, with the injuries turned up in this league, there's not too much you can do about that. So all we can do is, hey, next man up. So let's take a look at what kind of XP we have there. Nothing especially. To me, one of the most fun things about CFM is actually the XP. Like, I love getting XP, like leveling my players up as a old RPG fan. That part of the game really is attracted to me, so I do enjoy doing that. Let's take a look at some of the top stories there. Let's see, better than all the rest, MVP. Cliff Averill. Look at Peterson, Coach of the Year. Doug Peterson wins his first Coach of the Year award, as well deserved. So we did get Coach of the Year there. And let's get Bayless to saying some nonsense about Zeke, of course. Peterson, Coach of the Year. Let's see. What else did we get there? We confirmed. Wentz to play this. Yeah, Wentz came back, so he's back for the playoffs. And pretty much that we have we sat a bunch of starters the last couple of games, got healthy. Everyone will be back in the next round for the playoffs, divisional round. So we will be full strength for the first time since the beginning of the year. So a lot of, we have some tough games, close games, some struggles late in the season because we didn't have everyone. So let's take a look at the postseason wild card. Jags versus Bills, Redskins versus Seahawks, Titans and Browns, and Giants versus Saints. So there should be some good games there. I expect the Seahawks, perhaps a rematch with the Seahawks, and if we do make the NFC Championship, yet to be seen. You never know. The Giants really go as Odell Beckham goes. If Odell is held to 100 yards less, he'll lose. If he goes off for 300 or more, he'll win. So he's really big on basically one player dictates whether he wins or loses pretty much. I've seen so far. Let's take a look at the standings. We were at 15-1, had a great season. The one loss there on the record, a tough, surprising loss there. We got upset. Go back and check out some of those earlier games in the season. We had some really good games. So one loss on the season. Let's take a look at who else is pretty much. We pretty much had our way with the league. I mean, didn't have a bunch of good contests, but we had some good ones up there. Especially the one game that we lost there was crazy plays that happened on that one. So that definitely was an exciting game. So let's see the AFC. AFC is seems like a little tighter over there in AFC. Look at that, them Steelers, Sim F Ball Critic. AFC seems pretty tight. Let's see, 14-2, 13-3. The Texans been killing it all year. That's to me one of the best CFM teams. Period. They're a young team. And they got some really good athletic guys on the team there. So definitely the Texans is a great team you want to start your CFL with. To me, one of the better ones in the game. So let's go and let's take a look at some of this XP. I want to, man, that's like, oh, actually, hold on. Let's we haven't even looked at, because he won, Peterson won Coach of the Year. We haven't looked at the coaching goals there and see how much he has to spend. So 3,000, let's see, get with that. So he pretty much hit a bunch of his goals there. We still have some more to go, so we can make the Super Bowl and see if we can actually get some more XP for him there. So we own a bunch already. I really buy these, like I've said before. I think I've said this, that I like to purchase them. Whoever has like the biggest group or whatever. Like, okay, quarterback is important, but at the same time, what group do you have the most youth at, and what's one of the largest groups? So, for instance, like I don't buy tight end first. Even though you have, most teams carry 2 to 3 tight ends, but wide receiver, how many wide receivers do you carry? 5, 6. How many quarterbacks do you carry? 5, 6. And so I feel to focus on by group. So if it can affect one change, can affect 6 cornerbacks or 6 wide receivers, that's what I go with first versus a running back who's only going to affect 3 people. Some people only carry 2 running backs. I've seen in some leagues, but mostly 3 and 4. So I go with the bigger groups typically. Quarterback's the only exception to that list. You have a young quarterback, you want to purchase that one first and get as much XP as you can for your young quarterback there to develop. Let's take a look at some of the XP there. So Wentz still got 20K, even though, oh my God, I can't even imagine how much XP he missed out on by going down and getting injured when he did. Because he had 20K XP, he probably at least probably double that. Probably more, probably double that. So let's see what we can do here. Let's spend this 20K. Definitely, like I said, one of my favorite parts of CFM is leveling these guys up and developing them. And he had 89 injuries still went down. I feel like injury does not guarantee. You can have, I've seen guys with high 95 plus injury go down. But that's one of the things I definitely want to increase is injury there for players early in the season, so they don't go down like Wentz did. So 89 is definitely not good enough there. Let's take a look at some of his accuracy. I was just curious how the speed would go. To get that deep accuracy up, 80 overall deep accuracy. Let's see somebody throwing a run. Short accuracy. What do you? Let me know. What do you guys level first? When you level up quarterbacks, what's important to you? Short, medium, deep. What do you go for? So we got 90 short accuracy, medium and deep. You know, for me, I like to at least try to get to the 80 deep accuracy. Like 80 deep accuracy is a good, solid number where I find they complete the majority of passes I need to complete. But I want to have good balance though. I don't like having one category like completely overpowered over another one. I like to keep them as balanced as possible to limit the weaknesses of my quarterback. But it also plays into your game plan. So if you're a guy who's like West Coast, you throw underneath all day, there's no reason for you don't need to have 80 deep accuracy. You know, if you're a guy that has a vertical passing attack, you want to have a quarterback. You want to work on that deep accuracy and get that up there. So that's it. Let's see. Yeah, got to get carrying too. That's the one overlooked one is carrying, because this year the way the guys get rocked and quarterbacks cough up the ball left and right. So we definitely want to get that carry up to prevent that. So they hold on to the ball a little bit better than when they get hit, when they get freaking blasted like that and blindsided. So he doesn't have the clutch trait. The clutch trait is definitely one of those things that I like to have, but it's all right. We'll get that next time we get the XP. So Wentz, actually no, let's back out. I think we should redo this to see if we can get somehow work it out where he gets the clutch trait. The clutch trait is, to me, important. It's only really important for quarterbacks because the other positions, it just really doesn't matter as much. And first, I know some people like to buy the development things. Don't do that, especially this year when it goes up for your play. So that's a waste of XP to buy the increased development with XP points. So we got clutch. So let's see what we can get with the clutch trait, because I definitely feel for quarterback the clutch trait is worth it. Up that there. Let's see, get that injury to a 90. Sometimes I just like to round the numbers. Like if I just have something that's sitting there at 94, I just got to put it at 95. Like that's just that's like some OCD part of me there. I like to do that. So we got the clutch trait, went back and up the deep accuracy, and got the short medium accuracy to 87 overall. So I think that looks good there. Let's go with that. So Switch actually goes up to an 80 overall, 87 short accuracy, 87 medium accuracy, 80 deep accuracy, and he has the clutch trait, which is important, and clutch, coming out late games and stuff like that. So let's see, Danny Vitale, the free agent picked him up. He actually looks like he made the Pro Bowl there because he got a ton of XP for a fullback. Let's see what we can do with him. I love this guy. He actually converted tight end. He had good speed, decent hands, decent blocking, so I picked him up, and he was really valuable during the season. You guys been following along. He could catch the ball. He was pretty good at blocking. Didn't miss too many blocks. He ran the ball hard, scored some touchdowns for us. Never fumbled. Never had any issues with him. So definitely one guy to take a look at. Take a look at a lot of times when you do fullbacks. Look at some good tight ends, with mobility and blocking. You can convert to a fullback and use it. If fullbacks are usually in short supply in Madden, and a lot of times they're in short supply in NFL, really. So sometimes you don't always have a good fullback to start off with. You can always convert one. I don't like converting halfbacks because their blocking and strict is so low, and they don't always translate well. Even though the overall might look good, I haven't had much success converting the halfbacks as much as I have with converting tight ends to fullback. So got some XP up in Danny there, which is happy to see, man. Guys, when I picked him off the free, like Xavier Gooden, another guy, picked him off the free agent pool. These are guys that I just picked off free agency and turned them into stars and Pro Bowlers there. So I'm not taking credit for it, but I'm just saying there's always gems. That's why we have that CFM sleeper series. There's always gems that you can find there. And next year, let's see, we probably do some kind of like free agent gems there, free agent sleepers that you can just pull right out of the free agent pool, like I have done with these guys. Sometimes, I came into the league late, so I didn't even have the benefit of doubt of grabbing guys there. Like these are the leftover guys that people had already picked over free agency, and these are the guys that were still left in there. It's unbelievable. So still some talented players in there. So let's see who we're gonna race for Xavier. Definitely block shedding, because that's probably one of his biggest weaknesses. That's what I like to do generally with leveling players, is I like to focus on their weaknesses and not their strengths. So Xavier is a very mobile, athletic linebacker, but a little light ass. He's a little light, so didn't have the most block shedding, didn't have the most strength and all that. So we really want to get that up. And don't waste money on awareness for defensive position, because play recognition is much more important. So don't even really bother using that for defense. For some positions like offensive line and wide receiver, awareness does matter some, but not for defense at all. So just focus on play recognition when it comes to that. So it looks good there. Look at that hit power. So use Xavier's XP there. So really happy how that turned out. Zach Ertz, pretty much our main target for the whole season. Was happy that he actually made it through the whole season. Didn't have too many injury problems with him like I did with other guys. And to me, he's one of the best tight ends in the game. That not just because of his pass catching skills. Look at his run block, 81 run block. Like, run block is on short supply for tight ends in Madden 17. So if you can get Zach Ertz, if somebody doesn't say, oh, he's not that fast, he's okay. Like, if someone's sleeping on him, trade for Zach Ertz, especially if you like to run the ball. He's one of the better tight ends in the game, because a lot of tight ends like Jimmy Graham and those guys, they're great receivers, but they're terrible at run blocking. And run blocking is so important for the tight end position, especially like to run outside. A lot of times you run off tackle or those zone plays, and the tight end just gets murdered by defensive end, and you get blown up in the backfield. So Ertz was a big part of our running game. So happy to have him there. He's one of the best players on the Eagles team, and a lot of that's to do because he's so balanced. And Fletcher Cox and the boys. He is responsible for the Philadelphia Green Machine Killer pass rush. Look at those spin. Look at those. Oh my gosh, this dude's crazy. 94 block shedding. 79 speed, 89 strength. Wish we got one of those, man. Now, see, that's the OCD me. Like, I want that 1 point of speed. I want that 1 point of strength. I want to add in there. Like, that kills me. So let's see. It's block shedding, power moves, and plus, one thing you have to realize is that make sure you check your players for their confidence. So if their confidence is giving your guy +2 or whatever, and he's already 2 or 99 or whatever, don't waste the XP on that. If he has high confidence and it's already raised it, let's say he has 97 in some position, let's say 97 block shed. If his confidence is boosted at 2 or 99, don't go and put the 2 points in there. Take that XP and use it in another place where he's lower at. So that's one thing to look out for, because once you get good confidence with players like that, they get those boosts. So they're giving you those pluses. So don't waste the XP using it on those pluses as well. Just a little tip there. So let's see what Nigel there we can raise up. I like to do. I'm real big on especially going to the playoffs. You're facing better teams. I think pursuit and block shedding is important. It all depends. Like, I almost like to scout ahead and kind of pay attention to what kind of league it is. If you have a balanced league where guys are doing both, more of a sim league, guys are running and passing, I think block shedding and pursuit should be a factor. If you got a pass happy, a little bit less sim league where guys really just throwing a rock almost every play, spread offense, something like that, then I'm more focused on play recognition and zone coverage and those things. You want to get more passing coverage type stats on defense. So even paying attention to the type of league, not just scouting the individual players that you play, scout the league. Understand your league and what type of league it is. So, a very, very sim league is going to have more balance. Guys are going to be running the ball. Guys are going to be mixing it up more. So you want to make sure that your linebackers and your front seven has block shed. You want to focus on that block shed, focus on that pursuit. So stopping the run early, shutting the run down will be very important. More wide open leagues that are a little bit less sim, where guys are throwing the ball, 30 times a game plus. Then you want to focus more, catered more towards the pass play recognition, man coverage, zone coverage. Like, those are the things you want to more focus on that. So Jalen Mills, a fan favorite from the comments. You guys love Jalen Mills. He had an okay season. When he was in the slot, he did well. When we threw him in there into the season to a starting position, didn't do so well versus starting receivers. So hopefully he does better in the playoffs, because we need Jalen Mills. We need Watkins. We need those guys in the secondary, not just the starters, to step up, make big plays for us in the passing game, stopping other opposing teams' passing attack. So hopefully he'll do a little bit better. We'll see. Not too much XP for Coleman. Well, I feel if we got him early, like, oh man, I think he had a chance to really win a bunch of awards there, because the running game just turned up when we got Coleman. It was like a whole nother running game there. I mean, Matthews went down early, and just the backup. I tried Smallwood. Smallwood was okay. Whatever reason, I don't know what what about Coleman. It's like he just got it done. Like with Smallwood, I know you guys like Smallwood in the comments. I did try him out. He got some run, especially late in the season. He was okay. He was all right. He wasn't a bad running back. It's just whatever reason, Coleman he was just killing it. I mean, like that one game, who was that? Giant? Oh no, it was I think it was the Vikings game, whatever. Well, he just ran ram shot over that guy. Like he had like almost like 250, almost 3 yards. He's ran all over. He could not stop him. So that was it's really disappointing that we couldn't get him earlier than we did, because he would have definitely killed it. Let's take a look. We'll see Rodney, another guy who played well, both in and out as far as injuries and stuff through the season. So we're just going through the team. We're just doing a little touch up on the guys, and I like to use XP, as I get it. Some guys like to wait and let it add up a little bit more, but I mean, this is one of the points of the game that I enjoy. So I actually enjoy going through and adding guys points, updating guys here and there, saving up points, kind of targeting certain things that I want to give certain guys. Like I always make sure that my DBs have the aggressive trait. So that's like one of the first things, besides getting their play rec. I like to get their play rec at least up to an 80. And next thing I like to do for my DBs is get that aggressive trait, so they play the ball more aggressively, get more interceptions. I'm usually always in the top, top 1, 2, 3 as far as getting turnover stuff in my CFM league. So getting the aggressive trait on the DBs definitely helps with that. So that's one of the major focal points I like to do when I level my guys up and spend that XP. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at overall team. We're looking good. I mean, Wentz, he's got 92 throwing power, good speed. Look at that speed, 6'5". The dude is a monster. 6'5", 82 speed. He's a mobile quarterback, 92 throwing power. Now he's got 89 short, 89 medium, 82 deep. He's getting those pluses, so it's bumping it up a little bit there as well. And he got the clutch trait, so we don't have to worry about down in the clutch. Even though he's a rookie quarterback going into the playoffs, we feel confident Tim's going to lead our team, hopefully, to the Super Bowl. So we have to stay tuned for that and see how that comes. Next week, we got the playoffs. We got our first playoff game ever. Look at Danny, 75 overall now. All those confidence boots, loving it. Matthews, Green, Beckham, Aguilar, Huff. Seriously, wide receivers look as one of the weaknesses for the Eagles. They're generally by people. But in a CFM, these guys are so young, you could develop them so well. And they're big body athletic receivers, like 6 foot, 6'5", 6'3", with 90 speed. And look at my boy Ertz there, just one of the best tight ends in the game there. So, those are guys that seen as a weakness, but I think it's actually a strength in a CFM. Maybe in a head-to-head, not so much. But in the CFM, where you can develop guys over time, the Eagles are definitely one of the better teams to take, because you get their weaknesses in offense. They have youth there, and you can develop those guys into really, really quality players. Look at the offense, and that's one of the things as well. Offensive line, to me, one of the best offensive lines in the game. I mean, they're solid across the board on the offensive line, and the defensive line. I think they really, to be honest, I think they have the best OD line combination in the game. As far as quality, offensive and defensive line, like they really controlled the line of scrimmage. So to me, that's one of the Eagles' strengths. So definitely, I would say to me, a top 5 CFM teams because of that, because of youth and because of if you control the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's half the battle right there, really. People take that for granted. They say that doesn't matter at Madden, but I've showed that the offensive line definitely matters this season. Even we had a ton of injuries, basically all of our skill position players on both sides of the ball, half of them injured. But what was the mainstay through the whole season? The offensive and defensive line, mainly because offensive linemen don't get injured in Madden. Hopefully they fix that, but those guys held it down all year. That was the only thing consistent in this season, was the dominant offensive and defensive line play. That's what got us to 15-1. If you really break it down and you really look at the season, you go back and watch those games. We had solid, not just solid, but dominant offensive and defensive line play on both sides of the ball there. So Xavier Gooden, another guy pulled from free agency, and he's just like how he definitely turned out for us. Michael Kendricks, dude, I love this guy. He's great. It's just that he was just injured. He was injured all season long, really. I really didn't have that many games with him, but when he played, he was great. So we're so happy to go into the playoffs with a healthy team. We got all these guys back. Nolan Carroll, not the fastest DB, but he's a solid one. Kendall James, a free agent pickup. Cummings, a free agency pickup. He's coming back next week, so he should be fine for the playoffs, and we're gonna move into a starting role. These are all guys that I pulled up straight off the free agent heat, and they just been excelling for us. They don't have the confidence boost because a lot of them they didn't play the full season, but I think they'll do well in the playoffs. Malcolm Jenkins, of course. A monster in the secondary, 93 overall, 89 play rec in his zone. Play rec in zone is so important for safeties in this game. So that's why he's such a monster there back there. So let's see on the return there. We got Damian Byrd as well as Josh Ferguson. I don't like to put my starters back on the kickoff and punt returns as well, so I like to have special guys for that. And of course, don't forget about Darren Sproles. Man, he played a great role. So stay tuned. Next week, we got our first playoff game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So drop a like and subscribe. This is The Natural. Sports Gamers Online. I'm out.